Man, it is really getting used to things because I've been playing Skyrim recently, and then I get stuck in a menu and I have to preset everything and then rush into the game and to have the mouse on the other side of the screen, the two screens that I have. But right now I have the luxury to escape without using Alt-Tab. Sometimes that tends to be misery. So yeah, I hope all is well, and welcome.
Yes, and welcome back. We haven't been there for, I think, 2 weeks now.
Yeah, like either one of us can. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, if one of us can't host or can't be there, then the show is not going on, because it wouldn't be fun without you, you know.
No, same without you.
That's why we're doing this together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and we just off stage we discussed something lovely, and I just love the gem of an idea that came from RedOneArt. It's like, we don't have side jobs, we have side quests.
Yes.
I love it.
That makes side doing things so much better if you call them side quests.
It's like, I'm tackling my quest. What are you doing? Oh, I'm going to retrieve the sword of Arthur or something, King Arthur. Stuff like that. Or you could put it more in common day words, and let's say, well, I have to call a couple of customers. That's my side quest for today.
Mm-hmm. It can be, indeed.
Or,
side quests sometimes can be very easily retrieving something, or just getting a target. That's also could be a side quest for you.
Or getting an alliance. Dum, dum, dum. It's like you went out of your way to get an alliance with someone who's good at printing.
Yes.
That's an alliance.
Indeed. Oh, then that side quest is completed.
Victory!
Woo! Achievement unlocked.
Oh, that felt good. Oh, I shouldn't be treating myself to every side quest I'd complete, because then I'd be a fatso. A happy fatso, but still a fatso. And yes, I have to say a wee bit, I'm going to be honest, I'm a wee bit chubby. So I do have to make my own diet if I want to stay away from diabetes. So yeah, there you have it. Oops.
Yeah, it's very easy to treat you with a piece of chocolate if you're doing something right. I really have to find something as well for that.
I've been gnawing on carrots lately. I'm not gonna say it's a miracle solution to everything, like gnaw on carrots, but yeah, they're good-ish. I have yet to figure out a healthy human snack to promote myself and to do what I want to do.
I think it's very hard to find a healthy snack that is repeatedly delicious. You know, not for one time, but for a longer time.
Yeah, it's like when you bite into chocolate, that endorphin. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So yeah, when looking at chat, Lost Fire Dragon coming along with satisfatso though, like yes, guilty. I mean, as long as you're happy, and perhaps you only live once, so you do have to make the best out of it. But
Yes,
I tried to go for a little longer than short-lived.
True.
Oh, cucumber is your healthy snack. Wow, nice.
Yeah, that I do sometimes that as well. But sometimes then also the garlic sauce, is coming with it. That's actually, I know it sounds crazy, garlic sauce plus cucumber, but it's really good.
Oh, that's good too. I usually use vinegar and cucumber, and then a little bit of pepper and salt.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, that's then you make the healthy snack less and less healthy.
With vinegar, vinegar is not unhealthy, I think, right?
No, true, but you shouldn't do having it too much, I believe.
Vinegar is something just like lemon-ish type of taste-wise, and
yeah, okay.
It's not like I'm pouring wine into it. It's not alcohol.
No.
Here I think I was doing something healthy. Oh no! Oof. Oh, worry not. Here we go. Onto it, our quest. Before we do that, we have Lost Fire Dragon. Is it weird that you just eat as it is? No, it's not weird. A lot of people do that, and I do too, because sometimes I don't feel like I have to put in more effort than I already did, and just eat.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's how I eat my carrots. Like, do I have to do something with them? No.
No.
So yeah, but go ahead, take it away, RedOneArt.
Yes, continuing to our side quest, part 3. Teddy's Spellbooks, actually.
Yeah.
And indeed, we already made two beautiful books that hopefully in the future we can actually tell you that's going to be stickers or anything else, because I love them. And today we're gonna do number 3. The only thing that we know from book number 3, so we have an open design as well, is that it's umber, the color. So, but the specific material, there's nothing of it. And that it has a rune burnt into it. It can be a personal rune, but it can also be a rune for an arcane school. Yeah, we're gonna roll
I have those
with it.
right over here. These are the runes. They're a bit light on the screen, but
Actually, I do love that you already made the shadow for it. I loved it.
Yeah, like the shadow is if you look closely, you may even recognize a familiar shadow, a shade. Because I'm just gonna use a separate layer right over here. Red. It's this book! Pikachu face! Yay! I just flipped it around and turn it around. It's like I want a silhouette. I just want to use something, so there we go. That's the mystery solved.
Yeah, those shadows always reminds me of, like, in the past, who is this? Pokemon!
Come on.
And then, yeah.
Heck
But
yeah.
this time, it was book number 1.
It was book number 1! Ah! Oh, that's fantastic. I love it. Oh, we should play that game. Also,
yeah, with our characters, we can do that. Actually, from like once at a fun time, we can just take our characters, and for the ones who view more often or played like the Baldur's Gate like story, we can do that. Actually, that would be so fun.
Yeah. Now, I did feel like perhaps if I have some extra time today, dab into the world of some fan art. Because I know we've been creating a lot of new art, but it's also a type of fan art, but just a new jacket, something else that hasn't been drawn yet. But what if it has already been drawn and we're just, drawing it again? Like fan art. So I was thinking about a couple of characters, like Drist. I believe you may have heard of this drow in particular.
Yes, of course.
Fabulous.
Actually, I think that really works because, like, a little bit further, because of course I've already checked that, there are a little bit more main characters that do already have art, but I think we can do our own twist with it.
Yeah, I mean, just drawing whatever's been drawn already is not a big deal. I mean, it's also nice for our viewers to have some familiar faces going about rather than everything being brand new, and to fan along together with us because we're hyped about these characters already. So there's already a big hype, and we don't have to relive the hype on our own. If you get my drift in that corner.
Yes.
Let's say Zelda, and we would be drawing Link. Man, I'd be having fun. And maybe I should be planning those things too. But then with our Dungeons and Dragons adventures, that could be a nice thing. So I want the chat for the viewers who are listening and watching. Who's your favorite Dungeons and Dragons character? Give it to us. I want to know.
Yes, let us hear.
Let us hear. Hear.
That can be from the movies. It can be from one of the stories that you have played yourself.
Yeah. Maybe it's like a campaign character. A big bad evil guy. Ben. But Ben is ours. Yes. Ben is our character. But we love you appreciating Ben, though. Ben has fans. Ben's making big deals.
Yeah.
Ben,
I don't know if Ben really deserves having fans. Because, but is Ben?
I think Ben is really relatable in our story arc.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I see where this is going, Lost Fire Dragon. This means fan art of more Ben.
Yes. From when Ben actually did something.
Oh, Eddie fucked up. Oh, yeah. This is the thing, by the way, RedOneArt. If you flip out with some swears, it's okay, because I hit every filter in the book that we can hit to make sure that our viewers are alerted that we're adults and we're not children. So.
Oh, that's good. That helps.
Yep. Yeah. I just hit every button. Like, what do you want? Everything.
Yeah, because we sometimes also indeed in the art department do some
cursing.
Yeah,
we're not sailors, but it sometimes gets close to that, and we're still pretty happy. We're happy people, but cursing happens, and we don't want to influence the young.
No. Well, for us, it's a little bit sometimes automatic. It's a bad habit, to say.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, no, concern it. I'm so guilty. I've been trying to reteach myself to say fudge instead of fuck.
Yeah. I've tried it for a time with some words, but it's sometimes too easy.
Gold. Oh, that's real gold. And by the stars. Instead of, oh my god, it's by the stars. It sounds so much better. So, yeah. There's some things that I've been trying to reteach myself, and I have to say some bad habits do exist, whereas some other habits I've been able to kick.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah, communication. Where's you have any of them? I don't. Alright, as for the material of this book, that is still a thing. And I'm very much inclined to let it be a book. As dull as it sounds, I might just want to let it be a book.
Yeah, just indeed, like... We have two very extreme books.
Yep.
Let this one just be a normal material for it. The first one had the hide from a reptile skin. And the second one we eventually made leather human skin.
Yeah, it wasn't the first one like lizard folk or yuan-ti or something cool.
Something like that as well.
Oh man, we're cruel.
Yeah, but also it was Teddy. Teddy was a bugbear. He reused a lot of materials.
Yeah, she's very crafty. I mean, yeah, Teddy. We'll miss you, Teddy.
And if I look at this book like spells, because of course there are still spells in this one as well, I think this is the least gruesome book. Because the spells that are in there are Charm Person, Find Familiar, Identify, Magic Missile, and Sleep. So there's nothing like in the first one we had Cloud of Daggers, for example, or Tasha's Hideous Laughter, which are two, one is very extreme in the attack, the other one is more of the trickster kind. And in the book we did last time we had Burning Hands and Ray of Sickness, so both of them were extreme spells, so to say, but from these spells I don't see something really extreme. The most attack spell we have Magic Missile, but it doesn't have this gruesome layer to it, so to say.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's maybe it's been drawn with charcoal and burned or something, burned in there. definitely trying to make that more aesthetic.
Yeah.
Some cover here. And yeah,
let us take a deep dive into the spells. Maybe it comes up with any creative ideas.
Oh, sure you can.
Okay, so the first one, which is Charm Person, for some of you maybe already known. This is a very useful spell to have if you're having any like urban adventure or at least some adventure that holds humanoids in it, because it only works on a humanoid. That's also why it's called Charm Person and not Charm Creature or Charm Monster. It is a first level enchantment spell, which you can cast about a range of 30 feet. It is verbal and somatic, and its duration is for 1 hour. And do you know that after the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed by you, which is also a very interesting, like a role-playing moment. Like the spell ends, how is that NPC reacting on it? If he did something that could be like,
you said enchantment, right?
Yes, enchantment is the first one.
Yeah, charm person is enchantment.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's what I needed to know, nothing else. Thank you.
For the role-playing idea, if like the spell drops a NPC, if you let an NPC do something that's maybe out of its comfort zone, it can have a crutch on you. But if he will act on it, depends on the NPC, of course, and if he's not getting himself in trouble with it, of course.
I think it could be very interesting. I mean, as me as a player, I would make sure that at the end of the whole Charm Person, my Jedi tricks, I would send them away, and I would go the other way, like, hey, not my problem no more. If you're a dipshit, then it's your problem to deal with. Ha ha ha. Hope to never see you again. And if you do encounter that NPC, then fudge, gold.
Yeah.
All of the curses.
And if he's taking like the cards on you, I have never seen that person in my life.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't know this person. Nah.
And then hopefully your deception roll is high enough, of course.
Yeah, I'm just, trying to go and scoot away from it, from all the issues.
I am thinking if I've ever used Charm Person in my stories. I think I did it once in a, in a moment where I thought that we are gonna guard by a guard. And I cast Charm Person on that guard. That succeeded, luckily, because they have to make a wisdom saving throw, and if they fail the saving throw, it's charmed by you, and then you are his best friends, and he's doing a lot for you. So that's a good one for if you want to persuade a guard to either get past you or to not say anything to its other guard friends.
It's like, can you keep a secret? Only if one of them is dead.
So that's the first one. It's a very familiar one. The second one was also the spell called Find Familiar, which is a different school of magic. It is a conjuration spell. This one is a ritual spell, so you can also cast it without using a spell slot, but just taking 10 minutes to cast a ritual to complete it. Oh, it is. Sorry, I even say that wrong, because you have to do it always as a ritual for 1 hour. That's what it is. But you can spend an extra 10 minutes if you want to do not cast it as like with a spell slot. So 1 hour is normally 1 hour and 10 minutes is for a ritual if you don't want to use a spell slot for it. And for what our party definitely will know is that it costs 10 gold pieces, which can be word of charcoal, incense, and herbs that must be consumed by the spell. And here it says specifically by fire in the brass brazier. We don't do that, but we need
Could
the
be a
10
thing.
gold pieces.
Could be a nice roleplay thingy. I mean, yeah. And it's like, oh, you have to pay to the omen. Oh, now I have to set up this campfire. Bitch. That could also be alarming if they are within enemy stronghold or something, not to be, giving advantage to the DM in every point and trick the book for our players, because I play as well in that campaign. So at the risk of possibly screwing myself over, it would be fun to play that one out, because there's so many things that could give away your location, like smoke, the light, the sheer light in the depth of the night, if it happens during the night. So people would have to be strategic about when to recall their familiar.
Mm-hmm.
They know how, but just when.
Yeah, I'm going to think about it, because we already played it for a few times, and to say that it
you
has
can
to
ask.
be
You don't have
now,
to, enforce it.
a little bit chicken. But yeah, it's definitely something to think about. But because indeed it will work for some really nice roleplay.
So it may be worth asking, asking if players whom are casting the familiar spell, like, hey, would it be okay if? And that would possibly include myself too, future-wise. I mean, whoops.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people do know this spell, but they forget about the benefits of this spell. For the ones who don't know it, you gain the service of a familiar spirit that takes an animal form you choose, like a bat, a cat, a crab, a frog, a toad, a hawk, a lizard, an octopus, an owl, a poison snake, a fish, a raven, a rat, a seahorse, a spider, or a weasel. Can even be an imp if you are having a special contract with it, or in the 9 hells, for example. Then you can also do like an imp kind of thing. And there are also like features and subclasses that give you other options of Find Familiar. But
I believe Pixie is among them too.
Yes.
Pixie Wixies.
And it appears next to you. But the beneficial of the Find Familiar is actually very, very broadly. And we use a Find Familiar in our party on the Wednesday, as one of our players has a raven, and uses the option for the Find Familiar to take the help action. A help action, that's what a Find Familiar can do, can help you give an advantage on your next attack, or a disadvantage for the enemy, for the PC, for the enemy monster NPC. And that can be really, really powerful if you just need an extra boost to fight a particular one.
Yeah, we also by the way, have chat. There's a question in there, and that's about how would you play out rivalry and the party in a fun way? Lost by a Dragon. I did have one good sample of what I thought was funny, but I'm not too entirely sure of it, how people would think of it. And as for RedOneArt, that would be 𝙏𝙏𝙍𝙋 versus the party. She was rebellious Aarakocra. And she was on the verge of changing around, but she had some streaks that didn't set well with the rest of the party necessarily, because she was this rebellious teenager compared to the old drones that she was traveling with.
Yeah.
It was so adorable and cute, and she was finally learning, and there were some teachable moments, and I really adored it. The player really went full out to play this character to how he envisioned her. And that was so cool. That was amazing.
Yeah, and I think that's also very important.
It's very sporty.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people going around on the internet to say that hate on players that are playing the character as they intended. And of course, yes, you should always start out that way. But if you notice that a party don't like it, let your character grow. And 𝙏𝙏𝙍𝙋 was a very, very nice one of this one, as she was rushing into things and it got the party in a lot trouble.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She was loose cannon.
Yeah.
I loved her. As a DM, I just loved 𝙏𝙏𝙍𝙋 loose cannon. She was thing I did pity was her storming off in every battle, like, no, stop doing this! Ah! So teachable moment turned into her untimely death.
Yeah, and it was really sad that she indeed died too early, because her personal growth was not done yet.
No, she was still learning a lot.
Yeah. And I think that's really nice, because at one point, she made maybe some decisions that for the rest of the party were questionable, but you saw growth, and that's really nice. That eventually you could end a campaign or a storyline with a character that fits perfectly in the party.
She was like,
you learned.
She was like she was like a Dragon Ball Z episode, if people are known with this. She was like Vegeta entering Earth for the first time. And still being in his Super Saiyan Prince epic style mode, like, things, and he had to learn how to adjust. So we kind of went through a Vegeta phase, and you know, seeing her grow and have at it. That's how I viewed her.
Other forms of rivalry could also be like a half good, half evil party. And that's very hard to play out, to keep them together.
Yeah.
But if you are like taking the main quest, the high stakes, for example, how to say, if they are high enough, the party will stay together because they have the same goal that they really have to succeed. Yes, then you have some really fun like side moments, like role-playing moments during this main quest that gets the good versus evil
discussions going.
Yeah, we had that quite a while. I've played Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus myself, and we had this party. We had a half good, half evil party, and sometimes that switched, like how much evil in the party there was, how good, and that we will come later on that. But this is the story to do it, because there's a high stake in this. There's like the city that's gone, and if you are making sure that people have a personal connection to the city that is gone, people still get invested in the main quest. They will do it. They will side with the enemy, so to say.
They are motivated.
They return their loved ones, or maybe to get like their debt. Maybe their life depends on the life source of somebody else. Maybe their life forces are connected. And because you don't know where your other life form is, you really have to find that out.
So I'm gonna be that I'm gonna say good cop and bad cop at the same time. If you're starting a good party, bad party, it's like a split party in the room, kind of. Negotiate this up front and don't tackle it like and believe like, oh, we can't do this, or not telling anyone like we want to do this, and just boom, go for it, because it's not always a given, cause some strife in parties, because not every group is capable of adjusting to the pace of good versus evil, and they might go bonkers on each other. Yeah,
and that's where you have to really be careful. You have to, and I see also that's what Lost Fire Dragon says, like rival party would also be fun, but not many DMs do that. And that's because it can be difficult for the players to not get too emotional to each other.
Yep, I would really say it depends on the group. It depends on the group who's playing this game, and if I trust them enough to be able to take this, because it could be painstaking at one point, like, okay, it's taking it too far and we gotta take a break or a session, stuff like that.
Yes, we had one of the sessions in Baldur's Gate into Avernus that had that moment that we are like, okay, now we have to like check in with each other. Is everybody still okay? Do we feel personally attacked, not only our characters, but also personally attacked by what had just happened?
Yeah.
Because it was really, really going the good versus evil at the moment.
Yep. Yeah, because some people are, and that's okay, because everybody plays their character at a different pace, but some players, the majority, I think, plays the characters from the me perspective, like they play as themselves in a way.
Yeah.
I am one of the cookies who does not, and there's more of the cookies who are like me, who decide not to play as themselves. But for the majority of the players, you have to keep in mind, and bear with this, that they always have a part of themselves in their character. Whether they do it subconsciously or on purpose, it is a thing.
Yeah. I mostly start out characters trying to do like as a fun idea to play, but I noticed that over time, as longer I play them, part of myself becomes within that character. It's indeed.
I think it's very endearing though at the same time, and I think I finished my book because I don't want to work on it anymore. I'll grab some fan art. But to get to the point, I think it's really endearing that a piece of you ends up being, engorged into this lovely character that you've been creating from scratch. As for me, I try my best and my utmost to at a near constant rate, keep myself different or at a distance from my character. Like, I am not this character. This character is its own person. What would they do? I'm an overthinker, so I actively overthink entire stories. When you have a certain encounter coming up, and I know it's coming up, I have 1,000 scenarios of how this could go, and I play them all through my head. I'm like the inside AI generator.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep mulling until I figure out what to do from the character's perspective that I try to play out.
Yes, and I think you're really, really good on that.
It depends. I sometimes have my moments and other times I don't. And when I'm at my worst, I prefer also not to play, because that means like I can't put my mind to it and then I'm too tired.
Yeah. Then the AI inside of you has a little
dice.
Error.
It turns off. Oh golly gosh. But yeah, like I love to run scenarios in my head, like, oh hey, what about So at the moment I'm playing I'm actually playing the shop owner of the Counterspell, as you may have noticed, RedOneArt.
Nice. Yeah.
Like, we've been setting up the Counterspell, the Discord, and yeah. I'm trying to play him out as a character to get more of a character feel for this guy that is trying to sell whatever his grubby hands can get onto, whether it be spell components, his probably main income per se, as in crafting potions next to that, along with embossing and selling magical items. So everything magic and everything that has to do with magic is something he'd be up to. And of course upselling a lot. Not a trait I will portray for my dear customers. Hell no. If things are going to be sold in real life, then I want fair prices. So, in contrary to how the character plays his themes and schemes, he's more of a prankster.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah, he let you buy things that maybe not really work like you intended to work. He's never lying, but maybe you had another idea about the item that you just bought. And you don't have that. As your person.
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Oh, that your character sells items that as a customer you think that they probably would work differently, that they eventually it's going to work, like with your potions that
oh yeah, the character, he's gonna get bitten in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's a butthole. He knows it. He's trying to minimize the damage, keeping it to upselling, quote unquote. But we also have some chat questions from the rivalry party. So what would you do to improve long times between sessions of D&D? And
do you mean if there's between two sessions a long time that you don't play, or what do you do to improve long time? Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, yes. Okay, so if we don't play a lot, so for example, I'm now haven't played for a month, I think, for my Sunday session. We just sometimes give a little Easter egg in there. For example, one of our friends got on vacation and went to a castle. Yes, yeah, he likes to travel through some different countries and see old ruins and play castles there. And then he sends pictures from that to the campaign. And we are playing now
nice.
Curse of Strahd, so it gives off that feel. So we are like showing each other pictures of either what we find online or what we're doing that have some like connection to the story that we're playing. Could also be like, for example, this time I'm playing a noble, so maybe I find a dress, as she has a magical dress that she can change depending on her mind. So yes, you can play that on the group. So indeed, pictures that are like just spark in the enthusiasm and your motivation for the next session, even though it's maybe over a month. I think for us on the Wednesday, we do play quite often. Maybe we skip 1 or maximum 2 weeks. But I never have the feeling that like our motivation drops a little bit. So we don't have that much improvement. We do play it, like chat a little bit in the group's app, but we don't do that very much.
No. So yeah, once more for the viewers, we don't bite, so you can chat along with Lost Fire Dragon. Vote for your favorite D&D character. I'd really like to know. Aside from Ben, because we love Ben. We do. Well, we mean from the franchise.
Yes, so we can
Dungeons
make some
and Dragons.
So, but yeah, maybe I can also talk a little bit more about the next spells, and then if there are questions about that, we can also, like, you can put that in the chat, of course. The third of the 5 spells that's in the spellbook is Identify, and Identify is a very particular one because it's a level 1 spell that needs a very high-priced item to be able to cast. It's a pearl of 100 gold pieces. And for a first level character, that's a lot. So if you want to Identify on first level, it's going to be a little bit hard. You can chat with your DM if it's possible to have a pearl. Do know if you're playing Adventure League, then that won't be possible. Then you only can Identify on later levels, or you have to find in-game someone who can do it for you. But if you have the pearl with the 100 gold pieces, it also needs an owl feather, but if you don't work with the rest of the materials, you can also use your arcane focus for this, of course, because an owl feather doesn't have a gold value, so you don't particularly need it if you don't want it. It is a divination spell, and it instantly. If you choose an object that you must touch, that's very important for like cursed items, because if you touch it and then immediately the curse will affect you, then yeah, you can Identify it, but you are already cursed. For items that are cursed through like attunement or anything, then Identify is very useful because you know the curse before you attune to it. Identify is very much being used by wizards to let the party know which the item is it even magical or is it anything else. It's because of its like very high gold value material component. It's not a very used spell, but it is a very familiar one for most of them. Magic Missile, the 4th spell, is also mostly familiar with any wizard because it's it's a one that you can always use. It's always useful. Magic Missile is a spell that never misses.
Except for a few exceptions. I mean,
except for a few exceptions, indeed. Yes, there are indeed a few spells that counter Magic Missile, like Counter Spell, of course, which is a very obvious one. But indeed, Shield is also one of them. Because it says specifically in the Shield spell. And the last one in the book, which is Sleep. And I think Sleep is a spell that some people know, not always being chosen. But let's take over the spell. So, sleep is a first level enchantment spell, so we have second 2 enchantments, at least in this spellbook. It has a very large range, so to say, it's 90 feet of range. It's verbal, somatic, and has material components, which is a pinch of fine salt, rose petals, or a cricket. And this is really nice because you can flavor your material components to your own character. Like maybe it's going to like throw fine scent at you if you want to cast sleep. But
Mr. Sandman.
Yeah, like the Sandman. But if you want to go for like more nature feel of it, maybe you have a box of crickets that you have because you have maybe like you like to sleep with the sound of crickets, or you have a pet snake that you feed the crickets to, and then you can also use it as a material component for the sleep spell. Or are you more going to the rose petal side? You want to have a little more flavor in your life, a little more glimmer and glamour, and you're gonna like do the rose petals in the air. The sleep spell doesn't have a very long duration, and that's very interesting. It's only have 1 minute. So if you cast it, it could be if you are not in a combat session, to be very useful for a DM to have like either a timer set in. So guys, you have 1 minute to decide what you're going to do, and then that person wakes up. So what are you going to do?
I usually use the online timer when I play with that party and DM for them, because obnoxiously we've still been playing online, so I can easily hit like real time, and I just press it, and they know it, and they start panicking a little, and I love it. As for the chat, so we have Los Firing and mentioning I like Selkies, although not sure they are in D&D. Depends on your DM. They could be a thing. Selkies are wonderful, but not what I meant earlier. I meant as in the classic D&D campaign villains or famous characters from D&D, like Drizzt, like the real famous playable characters or non-playable characters, NPCs.
Drizzt is a very, very famous one. Could also be from one of the Dungeons and Dragons movies. Yeah. So, I'm very bad with names. But for example, the main bard character. Or
no, don't ask me. Oh, I'm equally bad. I don't know. I forgot. Oh shoot.
Yeah. But if somebody is wanting fan art of him, they are going to put the name in the chat, so that's really nice. Or maybe you're thinking about Jarlaxle from one of the stories, which is also a famous character in multiple ones.
Alright, he's in Baldur's Gate, I believe, the game.
Yes, I think so as well. Yeah, because you are going to Baldur's Gate, the place where he is sometimes.
Yeah.
But it can indeed also be, because of Baldur's Gate, also have some very famous characters. So it could be one of those. But not possible. And I see another question next to it. Do you favor flavor spells being cast?
I do. As a player, yes. And as a DM, yes. Also, yes.
Yeah. It makes so much more sense for your character not to do like copy exactly the spell like as somebody else is doing. It could work for your character if you are, like, for example, a spell casting war. How's it?
Maybe you're like the in-game grammar Nazi or something.
Yeah, you want to do everything perfectly, and then you can say, "I'm not flavoring it. I want it exactly as the book is." Yeah.
You must be a scribe. Have a scribe background, something like that.
The most iconic thing I read about flavoring spells was for the magic missile. Magic missile is indeed 3 missiles that you are throwing towards your enemy, and they always hit, except a few examples. But I read something why those missiles don't have a particular look or feel or anything. And I read about a wizard that when they cast magic missile, they appear as chickens that are being thrown towards the enemy. So that's that's a really
meme. Sorry, this is too good. We have the sound effects for that one. Chicken go. Oh no, I removed it, but it was a sound effect. Chicken go fight. Ah, thank you. But, I can imagine it.
So yes, do flavor your spells being cast because it makes so much sense for your character. And maybe if you are nicely flavoring your spells, maybe your DM rewards you for being creative and gives you an inspiration.
Yeah.
Who knows? Because your DM also relies on you to tell a story. If you tell how you're doing something in combat, they don't have to tell all those things around it because you are already telling an amazing story. So it helps the DM as well.
Absolutely. Because the chat didn't really decide on the favorite character thingies, I just went for a Xenatar.
Always a good choice.
A little bit more blue, and he was like blue purple when I read the story about him, and he leaned more toward purple because of the all purple purpose shop. Oh, that's a tongue breaker right over there, tongue twister.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the shop is officially called Old Xoblob's shop.
Nice.
And it has a purple stuffed beholder in there, like a plushie.
Are we going to draw Senator then, or are we going to draw the plushie?
No, we're drawing Senator.
Nice.
I don't do plushies. Not very well. I'm just drawing a very happy, squishy Senator.
Oh, Lost Fire Dragon does set a character that is very familiar in the critical role, critical role kind of world. Because he said Krog.
Yeah, Grog. And not to be confused with Grung, because that's a frog-like species. That's the thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Grog is from Critical Role, so technically that is D&D too.
Yes.
I'm gonna be a bit late on changing this, and I have no clear set on Grog at this time being.
But we can put it on the list. So next time, if we're gonna do a fan art, we can take the suggestion of Lost Fire Dragon and take Grog.
Yeah, we could. And we could also vote in there. I would say for people who'd be present that day, if I decide to do random fan art, then join. So more motivation for you to join and hit the chat.
Yes.
So I'm not going to make any promises right now. I'm not going to draw what I'm drawing. And next session we'll be probably drawing whatever has been mentioned in chat when we get to that point, like today.
Yes, for today, our spellbook is pretty much drawn full. It's not a very special spellbook this time. Doesn't have to be. Not all spellbooks are very special and effective. Not needed.
Yeah.
Oh, what's maybe a nice thing to know for new players about the sleep spell is that you can cast sleep always, because it always can have an effect, or at least that's the magic is there, but not all creatures are affected by the sleep spell. Creatures that are unaffected are undead, because
they don't need sleep.
They're dead, they don't need to sleep, so they are holding together by magic. And others that are creatures that are immune to being charmed. So that is why elves don't fall asleep by a sleep spell. We had a very fun situation at an introduction to the Curse of Strahd campaign, as we're like at the end of like we did something, we went back to camp, and then somebody put us to sleep. But we had like a guest player for one time who played an elf. And she was like, she was there, like the DM was forgot that she was playing an elf, and he was like, "Oh, I'm just putting everybody to sleep with a very high level sleep spell." And then she was like, "But you know, I'm here, still awake." And she was actually looking like Arab characters who fell magically asleep. And then, like very quickly, our DM was like, okay, what I'm gonna do, and then immediately like improvise something, which was really nice because he did it very well on the spot. Was that like one of the one that was casting was looking at the other ones in the camp, like who was closest by us, or at least her character, and just took the first item close by and knocked her out. But you saw like one moment of realization that like, oh fuck, she's an elf, and then okay, and solve.
Yeah, usually you do that. It's like, all right, solve it. Same goes for Warforged, I believe. They don't necessarily need sleep. However, they could still very well fall under the charm spell.
Yes, so I think in this case, a sleep spell would affect, because they don't need to sleep. It doesn't mean that they can't.
Yeah.
So sleep will still work on them.
Yeah, but then wouldn't it? Yeah. It doesn't make sense that elves don't need sleep. They meditate in a way, but
yes. So yeah, they need sleep. So, but they are immune, or to being charmed by like the effect. That maybe they have changed over the time. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, because it sounds so silly if elves are immune to all charm spells. I mean, there are workarounds, obviously, but it sounds a bit powerful if you get my drift.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I was meant to ask, like, how old is your DM? It sounds like he has quite the experience.
Yes, my DM is like 10 years older than me, so he's 35, and he played from the second version of Dungeons and Dragons up to now. So
yeah,
I think he only skipped the 4th edition.
Yeah, we don't speak about 4.
Hasn't been there for a long time. No, not many people do.
Yeah, no, I haven't played number 4. I have played 3.5, and then I couldn't find people to play with, and I was a player at that time, so I didn't know how to DM. And then another group came along, and I could play and tag along. So there were a couple of years between that, and then that group caused me to start collecting my books, and those are also my graduation bodies. It's like 2017. It's where I started playing and DMing in the mirror a little bit, like practicing, because I wasn't DMing for that group. So yeah, good to hear.
So Lost Fire Dragon also put a question like do demons have a soul?
Depends on the DM.
Yeah, that really
depends on your DM. I mean, that's really a DM question. If you really want to lord by the rulebook, I would say yes. But I am not sure, so it's an unsure yes.
Yeah, I haven't read up too much about demons yet, because demons come from the abyss, and I mostly read up parts of the story that are really neat, because there's so much lore to read. So when demons haven't come up too much, so I'm not 100% sure. I think yes, in some sort, because they're like, if you kill them on the material plane, they reappear in the abyss. So they have to, like, it's not that they are going to the material body back there, like, because they went to the material plane with that body. So yeah, I think their spirit just reappears there. It's a difficult question. It's a very, very difficult question, because they are collecting soul coins. So that could also be a reason why they don't have souls, because they collect them. And most, like, in story-wise, like creatures that collect souls don't have them. That's why they collect them. Yeah, hard question.
Could be. It's like a lot of things could be, so I'm unsure. But then again, they are still defeatable, so then that does mean something, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then poses the question, it's like, are there soulless monsters, things in D&D to deal with? Any foes that have no soul?
Yes. There are definitely soulless creatures. One that comes to my mind, and I have to double check on those, just to be 100% sure, and to see if I will pronounce it correctly. Oh no, it's not how you spell. Oh, how do you call that again?
I would not know.
Okay. I know those creatures come in like the storyline of Tomb Foundation.
Soul Eaters?
They are
Death Eaters?
No, but they do have something familiar about that. Okay. Gonna check. They're like the last leftovers of something. Okay, I'm going to check into formulation. And also in like some stories, you have puppets that are being filled by magic but doesn't have a soul. They just have a purpose. So constructs mostly, but constructs in Dungeons and Dragons don't mostly have a soul. They just have a purpose and magic in them. You can also make a construct that holds a soul, of course. That also happens.
Do Warforged have a soul? I'm sorry, I'm being annoying. I have my how and why question face. You're the finder of information.
Yeah, I would say yes.
Yeah.
But that's only because a player is really, really like playing them. So yeah. And that gives them a soul. So it's a construct that holds a soul from like war or anything.
Yeah, as for what I thought in Warforged, that could be a fun play. I haven't negotiated this with my players yet, because one of them is playing a Warforged at current. Is that in Warforged has a soul coin. One of those coins. Cha-ching! I can't remember anything from their previous life. Just, moving on. Like how they work, how they function.
The creature that I was searching for was a 𝙏𝙏𝙍𝙋. And
those things. Yeesh.
Yes. But apparently they have a sort of a soul. Like the soul of a creature that becomes a 𝙏𝙏𝙍𝙋 is so damaged that it's unfit for most forms of magical restoration. Only a wish spell or similar magic can return a 𝙏𝙏𝙍𝙋 to its former life. So, yes, there's sort of still a soul in there, but it is so damaged that it's not a complete soul anymore, That I think that's having an in-between for this time.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a really interesting one. But I think that like the stories that you did, like the creatures around Tomb Foundation had were a really, really great one. They really did an amazing job of coming out story-wise for the creatures. Like the 𝙏𝙏𝙍𝙋 has some like a little bit of more story around it. The Abyss that I think are really makes it more like those bird people.
Aarakocra?
No, the Abyss. The
meat shield.
No, those were Aarakocras. An Abyss is like EBLIS.
Oh, I'm too brain melted to take this one.
It's a bird with like a long beak, pointy beak, and
the holy ibis.
Yeah, we had it a few times. They're thought to be reincarnations of evil humans who were punished by gods for acts of larceny and kidnapping.
Oh, but that's D&D lore, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because that doesn't resound to that doesn't make sense to the actual thing behind that, the holy ibis.
No, I was more like.
Yeah, D&D.
Ibis. Yes.
Yeah, no. I was I had the bird in mind.
Yeah, I don't know the bird what you're referring to, but this one, like,
I can draw that
it's
one.
It's definitely a bird with long legs, very long legs of walking in the water kind of legs, you know, with the long beaks that they point to catch fish with. Those kind of birds.
Sometimes they're referred to as trash birds in other countries because they're in you know, plentiful. And it's just from the top of my head. I'm not using a reference at the moment, so I could be wrong a little, but I think some of them have this black endowment, the black hat. That's how I remember them. Dark beak, something. I did not imagine I'd be drawing a bird at random.
No. But a lot of things come up when we talk about Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
so
that's the thing. That certainly happens. His head is not that small. It has a bit of a beer head-ish thing.
Oh, and Lost Fire Dragon said, do you mean the one member from Kung Fu Panda?
I have no clue. No, I don't think so. That's a heron, right?
Not 100% sure, but it does have some like similar points to this for a bird, and the one that I described from Dungeons and Dragons, like long pointy beak, long legs.
Yeah, but there's a curve in this beak. It's curved, and indeed it has long legs. It's not straight. A heron has a straight beak.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe it had red ash. Let me go fetch. Let me see if I got this Pikachu right. Yeah, trash bird. I know. Some people do mention it because they're there in too many numbers. I was not too far off. I mean, it got pretty close. And here we can see the image from Google.
Oh yeah, nice.
Let's put it over there and over here. There for some photo color. Eye color is more black, and they have a bald head, so the head is not feathered, covered with fluff. So yeah. But hey, there you go.
Came close. Yeah.
Close enough. Good enough.
Close enough. Nice.
Yeah.
I also see that it's already like 1 minute before 9. So do we want to finish with like all the books on one page? Maybe that's a nice one. To end with all Teddy's spell books in a room.
One moment. I have to grab and roll with that. Whoop.
I do love that we have like book images from all different like perspectives.
Yep. That's what we were going for.
So like if you're looking at those three, Sansji, which of the three is your favorite?
I would say yeah, that would be this one because I spent most of my time on it. So that's the Black Book. Because
Yes.
I went to work after we were done with the session.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's my favorite also, but because it sparked so much creativity in there, like that one. Like we talked about spells and we talked about like the materials, and eventually we put most of the materials in that book, and I really loved the little fluff that's hanging, like used as a
Yeah, the down feather.
what's it called? Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that's also my favorite.
All right. So yeah, that is it. Then there's the prompts right over there. Gonna hit the save button before I forget. Oh, it was quite an evening.
It was, but the time fly.
Yes, it does certainly. So actually that there's none to be raiding for tonight. I don't see any of my other pallies online, so I'm gonna leave them alone.
Oh, sad.
Nah,
yeah.
that's alright. And I'd love for you to send me a link of what creature you're getting at, because I have no clue.
Yes, I'm going to do that.
But I was thinking about at one point those aerodactyl creatures that were hostile, but like those dinosaur people. The flying dinosaur people.
The Terrafolk.
Yeah, the Terrafolk. Yeah, that's another thing. But we'll be saving that for some other time, folks. See you probably next Monday. Cheerios!
Yes. Cheerio!